Hey, thanks so much for clicking on the bonus footage button. I really appreciate it. I talked to you a little bit about Your Glory Alone from a songwriting standpoint. I guess overall, let's hit just basic theme of what I wanted to try to do in this song. Probably more so than any other song I've written this year, this one feels the most like something I just sing in my personal time with God. I'm not saying it can't be used in front of a congregation, not saying that people wouldn't benefit from it, but it feels that way. You can even probably see that as you listen to it. It doesn't have a bridge, doesn't really have much of an intro. It's just kind of this honest prayer song, has a very simple order, verse, chorus, chorus. And so for me, that's what it really feels like as I play it, just an honest prayer to God. There are a couple things lyrically that I wanted to do with this song. First off, I definitely wanted there to be an obvious theme of current reality as opposed to God's reality. Okay, and that may sound weird, and maybe I can explain it this way. In other words, I wanted a song that would affirm the fact that God, I know that there are parts of me that I still hold back from me. I know that there are things in my own life that I love more than I love you. But I know that's not what I'm destined for. I know that I am destined to be yours, wholly yours, just consumed with your glory. And so I wanted the song to express that. And so there are a couple of lines that I really felt like nailed that. Just they weren't real long lines, but I feel like they just really captured it. First line, self comes easy, every desire on the surface right here. I love my own heart more than anything, it's clear. I love to sing that because it rings true. I do. There's so many times I'm like, man, I just love myself more than anything. And I hate it, but it's so obvious. And then, you know, in the second verse, sort of saying, I cannot hide it, you see inside the truth, but you know the affections that were destined for you. And I thought that was I felt good about that line. Like it really, that word destined really cinched that for me. And then in the chorus, I'm always, whenever choruses happen, I'm always really sort of anxious about throwing in Father or God or Jesus or Lord, because I wanted to work with everything else. And so I liked doing I don't want to make this about me, Creator God, all I have inside me is yours. I thought Creator God was it's a great word. We know it's true of the Father, but it's also a great thing to call God when you're saying, God, you know all this stuff. I mean, you know my affections are centered on me so many times, but you're the Creator. You made me, and all of this stuff is really yours. And so I thought that worked, and then I realize it's a strange line, but I wanted to change up, don't want 1 second to center on my needs, want every heartbeat to live for your glory alone. And at first I kind of surprised, like, well, why do I like that? You know, why heartbeat live? I don't understand that. But I felt like that line was a microscope, that I want every heartbeat not just to beat for God, but to live for God. I want the point of every heartbeat's existence to be for the Father. Now that may be a silly thing to think that our heartbeats live whole lives, but for this song, I felt like it captured exactly what I wanted to say to the Lord. I want every heartbeat to be completely consumed for the Father. I'm not there yet, but that's what I want. And so lyrically, I feel like all of that felt real good to me. It feels pretty linear. I don't feel like we get off into a tangent anywhere, so that felt good. Musically, there were some cool things I really liked about this song. It's in the key of A, really playing A2 most of the time. Really, I think every time. But I started with the kind of the F sharp minor 7, which is the 6th chord of this key, and I liked starting there. Just kind of a real creative chord, real pretty chord, but I love that I had all this tension in this chord and then come back to the 1 chord. And that's really the verse. Back to the 1 chord. I mean, it goes over and over. And then I thought when I hit 3rd line, I was really kind of nervous about where we'd build it, and so I stretched it out to an E sus, And so I just like that. I like that sort of, real creative, kind of a little bit dissonant chord, stepping away from home, back to home, stepping away from home, back to home. I just like that. And then you're not able to hear it as much in the chorus, but I think you'll understand when I say this. I love the melody of the chorus. I wish I had a better, I don't want to make this about me. I wish that had a little more vocal lift to it. It's a little more powerful. So for right now, what I'm doing in the chorus, and you can't hear it as much with just a guitar, but at the end of each chorus section, hitting that D, E with a D, D with an F sharp, E with a G sharp. So you're hearing that bass go. You're hearing that thing climb. You're hearing it walk up. And so that was a good way for me to add some power, just that. Which would be stronger if a band was doing it. You obviously had a bass player doing it. It would be that way. But I just like that. Like I said, didn't really feel any pressure to hit a bridge or anything. I just felt like this song said what it needed to say. And that's, songwriters have to be careful of that, because I think we can kind of say, oh, I've got my checklist here, and this needs to have a great intro, and it needs to have a hook, because I read a book somewhere that had a hook, and it needs a key change or whatever. And while those things are valid and they will give some dynamic power to a song, I also think songwriters have to be very careful and be very watchful for when a song's done. And if it's done, it's done. And I think that's important. I think we have to think about that and be really mindful of that. So that's the song. Like I've said in the other video, thank you for your comments. Thank you for watching these. If you're a songwriter, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to get to know you. Maybe you're out there writing worship songs too, and love to get to know you a little bit and find out how you found the video and maybe help each other out in songwriting. All right, so thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in a month. Bye.